And what is the same?
The
what
evolution.
That's
the
evolution.
clock.
Ah.
Okay.
There it is.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that, actually.
That means Shaker goes to OG?
Well, no, they won't pick Shaker
yeah.
because they pick clock to block it. But
Yeah.
I would have just left both. You take whatever you'd like for Kuro, perhaps, or even a DP early if you really value it that high. Because now OG just ignores Shaker, and you have a Clockwork all of a sudden, first pick overall.
But I think in this position, like, look at the 3 drafts that you had. The bans are the same in all 3 games. Bat, IO, Nyx, Morphling. Puck gets offered up for OG, they take it. In what scenario are they able to pick, Shaker first, Nigma go Clockwork? If you don't pick Puck, Nigma get the Puck. Like, this is like the one scenario that they can play for right now.
And that denies, well, not denies, but I'm thinking Nigma goes this clock. They love the clock with with GH Coddle. Because this is a 5 position for Kuro that sort of covers it. The thing is, Earth Spirit Puck can hunt a Coddle quite effectively, so I'm not sure they'll want it in this spot.
It was also
DP also looks good.
Yeah, it was untouched in the last series when it was offered up. Like, so potentially another thing as well. And they go for the Viper. Yeah.
Wow.
Strong
Keeps
lanes.
getting banned out second phase.
Yeah, we talk about lanes winning games, and they just open up with this clock flex. And
Yeah, good luck getting a kill on any of these lanes. You can't really kill Clock very easily. Viper, tough one too.
exactly that.
I mean,
Love it.
Viper's typically been played as an offlane by most players lately, but it can be flexible. You could put it mid, so I guess it does kind of give him those options right now as a flex.
And that's exactly what Nigma's been looking for. And when you think about these 3 games, the reason why these captains, these teams, they haven't changed like the pick or the side is simply because they think that their strategy is better and they need to make 1 or 2 adjustments to get there. And that's why we're not seeing like the bans change or the order change, because both captains believe so much in their team and what they're bringing to this draft.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's so much fun. I appreciate good Dota.
Yeah.
Also, Thompson is just on fire. Like, I can't believe how consistent this guy is. Same goes with GH, though. I think for me, individually, these 2 are the standouts thus far. Both shined in the game that their team won.
It would be pretty interesting if Nigma do put this Viper mid lane into a potential Puck, where you both just push the lane out, but Viper suddenly gets to farm up the 2 camps next to your jungle as well, because you're playing Radiant side. Yeah, it's now green. Oh,
It's a weird matchup. Like, Viper is certainly favored, but the old, I don't know if it functions the same as it was in the past, where Puck could never really pressure the Viper. But I remember when people used to counterpick Quaps with Viper, and you would just not die, and Quap tries to harass you, and you do so much damage with Corrosive, it's just ineffective. But the Earth Spirit equalizes things, because if you kill the Viper a couple times mid, suddenly you just feel terrible, because you want to play aggressive, now you're getting coiled, and you're just feeding on
Kill a Viper anywhere, mate, and you'll feel like nothing. If he has like 4 deaths in the first like 15 minutes, it's not really a Viper game anymore. It just becomes like this mobile ward that might buy a BKB if he's a lucky lad. Same bans though from OG, the Death Prophet, the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, Death Prophet's got to go.
Nigma now... Sorry?
Pretty good against Viper as well, too, potentially, because you just decrep whoever is going on, or decrep Viper himself, and then you reset your poison stacks, so that one makes sense.
Interesting thing here is from Nigma, again, another drafting development. They pushed the Pugna ban from the final phase of bans up into that second phase, because clearly it's been a thing that they're scared of going into that final phase. And in terms of the big picture strategy and how OG just won that second game, I think that's why they're pushing up. So, okay, we can't have this much pressure. It simplifies them too much. They can play at 4. They can play it anywhere pretty much.
But they do leave with that the Lycan and the Clinks in, because they also banned the Juggernaut. We saw the Healing Word being super successful, but the Clinks and Lycan in the pool.
The Clinks was a ban due to the Death Prophet pick, and them trying to keep that up.
Yep. You don't mind as much when you have Clock. The thing I'd be spooked about is minion heroes. The Lycan is very scary. Illusion heroes aren't as good against Viper as they were in the past, because, as an example, the Juxtapose from PL doesn't proc if you're a Nether Toxin, but heroes like Lycan kind of eat you alive. 12, 13-minute Necro 3, there's nothing you can do if you just get ran at.
Is Enigma then still a threat as well?
Not as much. The Clock somewhat covers that. You'll always have the BKB interrupt.
But I think it could be very easy for OG to pick Enigma right here.
True.
Flex it between offlane and 5, and suddenly Enigma picks one hero. They reveal what's happening a bit more, and then OG gets to enter into that phase.
That hero, I think Enigma might just be good enough where there is no such thing as like bad matchups, because the hero just does so much damage. And
Bring back the old
provides
Lich.
so much utility.
For the love of, I want to see the old Lich. I want to be able to sacrifice my creeps.
Oh, God.
Look, there's a little smile from Purge. He knows. He agrees.
That's what I like.
I miss being able to play mid lich. I had a great time. That's the only reason I want it back.
The Prophet is so nice here. It owns both of this support duo for Nigma. And yeah, we just saw No-Tail on the Enigma, but this is what he used to do all the time.
I see it. I've seen it on the posters.
The key thing is it's a support that has that kind of wall of, summons or whatever you want to call it in front of them. They get to body block the battery assault. They get to harass the shaman who normally has boots and doesn't like to get punched. He likes to be the one punching. So yeah, I like the idea from OG, trying to double down on the fact that Nigma has really strong lanes. So OG is going to try and get their strong lanes because of the support pick.
And you already have 2 hunters. You have Puck and Earth Spirit, 2 heroes that just need a little bit of bonus damage. This mid Viper, if it is mid, is in a lot of trouble. A roll in, a summon, trees spawn, it's 5 minutes in, and there's like what feels like 4 heroes under your tower. It's real difficult to play Dota.
They have kind of weak stuns though. That's one downside. Like they can certainly initiate on him and prevent him from leaving, but has a decent chance of getting a return kill in those circumstances right now.
I'd love to see like a Mars pick from Nigma here, because they play it in both lanes. I know we loves playing it mid, maybe not so much within the team environment yet, but I know within his pubs he does. So I think that could be like an open flex pick that they have demonstrated within the last 2 games. And it does really well against like overwhelming tower pressure, but not direct tower pressure.
What do you think about Ember Spirit?
Also works pretty well, for sure.
What about Shadow Fiend?
What about Shadow?
This is not the time for that purge. Don't make Carl happy.
Yeah, the Shaman's nice. It's another hex mechanic, but it's a lot better than the Lion in this game. Just because of the Earth Spirit factor.
Yeah, again, like we mentioned, like what pick is the most critical part of the draft. For Nigma right now, on this pick, this pretty much unlocks everything for OG to understand, because you're going to know what is the Viper, what is going to be the weak lane that you can potentially counterpick straight away, and this is why this pick's so vital. Often, the better teams will get a more kind of where's the hero going, the flexible hero, unless there's a big hero. But OG, they've picked 2 supports and a Puck, like it's so hard to pick a core with confidence and not suddenly get countered by a PL or some big kind of win condition type
and
hero.
if you pick a carry here that's exposed by Prophet.
Oh, well done.
Man.
Oh my god. Oh, thank you.
Dude, it's just way better if you're not acting surprised that you're going to ride.
I don't care. Mom, I made it. I did it. Sorry. Anyway, OG, they got 1 more pick left. This is where they get to maybe try and get a big boss core. But again, like I said, the flexibility of the Mars and the Viper does cause some concerns for OG, I think, in getting the perfect pick.
No-Tail talking to his teammates.
Who sits on the left? That's important, because if it's a core player,
it's mid one.
It's mid one.
Look, the monkey in the background. See the monkey face?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's talking to mid. Up. There it is. That's why they picked the Ricky.
There it is.
Nice.
Oh my god.
That's a deep. That's some
good analysis, background analysis.
They've done this in the
it.
past. They really like Riki against Mars. I mean, it's relatively simple, but Mars blocks damage from the front. Riki does bonus damage from the back.
I will say
countered.
The matchup used to be very Ricky favored, but I feel like it's maybe shifting more towards Mars, just because the type of laners he's with allows complete pressure to Ricky. And there is a point where the Ricky, when he's by himself on an island, the Mars suddenly kills him, the game can feel awkward. And he isn't a carry that suddenly moves to the other side of the map and pressures.
However, it goes both ways, because you can also trick the trade out of the arena. It's just about whether or not you get caught and speared to the wall. You are a very low HP hero, but you're still. I just love this, because when you have a Prophet, you want high reach heroes, and you want an invis hero if you could get it, and you want stuns and catch. You have all of this now, and it represents so much threat. You could be just chilling in a lane by yourself. All of a sudden, a Riki's there's a roll in, there's a summon Wrath of Nature hits, you're like, oh shit, I'm dead.
So as far as the previous 2 games go, where we saw a team that played fastest won the game, basically, how fast are these 2 lineups able to play?
Pretty slow, actually, in regards to game 1, game 2.
Yeah.
These are both kind of lineups that need a bit more time. The Viper traditionally needs to have an item or 2 before complete domination. He does do well in lane, but for OG, the Ricky needs Battlefield +1. But he will join fights.
If Riki runs through Nether Toxin, he uninvises, right? And also wouldn't do the extra backstab damage?
A purge?
I don't know that one.
It's a very specific situation. I know that if you are not invis and within it, you don't go to invis.
Yes.
I assume, logically speaking, you shouldn't suddenly become visible. I think that's a bit too nuts.
Because it already triggered.
Exactly. That would be my assumption on the situation. Because I have seen Rickies before stand within Toxin and get surprised when they do die. It's very comical.
Alk ban. Good ban.
And an Oracle ban.
So Nigma are very much in the position that this is the offlane
Enigma,
Furin,
yeah.
and now they have this Enigma flex like we mentioned earlier that keeps their draft a little bit more open because they are first pick. Nigma, they need a hero, I think, that applies pressure. They have strong lanes, but they need someone who can say at minute 15, at minute 20, join me and take this fight. This is why the likes of Alk and Monkey King are amazing bans, because they're heroes that at that window want to cross that river.
Could you can't,
fight.
Nepo, never mind.
Purge, you are in
it
the
does
lot.
make you visible.
It does make you
Yeah,
visible?
even if
It
you're
does?
if you run on Nether Tox, you're instantly visible. If
Wow.
you run off, you become
Ooh.
invisible
Crazy.
again. So it's basically where you are on it.
All right,
Yeah,
I have a
be really
question,
careful.
Purge.
It's not common, but
Purge, are you
Is that a
in the
Medusa?
lobby?
Whoa.
Wow.
no, I'm not.
Darn it. I want to know who's playing what on the side of OG. There's so many possibilities.
We have an answer.
Mid one Ricky,
Yeah.
Seb
makes
Native
sense.
Prophet, no
Okay.
Till Enigma.
So the question is, do you put the Enigma against the Dusa just to try and slow it down? It's a really nice pick. You're going to run out of damage on the side of OG here.
I think the important thing here is the Enigma plays with the Ricky most likely, just to ensure he has a start to the game, get some XP, and then it's about the pressure you have. And I like the fact that even though Enigma picks this Medusa, who is so hard to kill behind this wall of aggression that they're going to have, the Enigma will eventually pressure her in the fight. Like, if you don't have ult, I can kill
a
you.
5 position.
No, but like, you still have to respect that threat.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like both drafts. This is going to be an incredible game.
Third game to the series, Purge. What do you got?
Yeah, I think Ricky can be pressured in lane by Mars. We saw it in another match the other day, so I think putting Enigma there is going to help offset that. But I think the Ricky matchup against Medusa doesn't seem that terrible to me. So OG, I guess. I'm not super confident, though.
It's all going to be about pace and tempo. Like, if OG can take command of the game again, they're going to be in a really good spot. But Seb has to play an excellent game. You're going to see massive collapse upon middle. It's just survival for the side of Enigma. Keep your towers alive, find good fights with Arena, and can't lose towers and map control early.
More even game than the previous two.
Yeah, this should be like a 45, 50 minute plus game for sure. I think there's no way this ends quickly.
Over, under 1.5 rapiers.
There's no 1.5. What is
over,
1.5?
Over?
Over.
Agree.
How do you do 1.5 in a one game? There's literally either 1 or 2.
Exactly. Will there be more than 1.5 or less than 1.5?
All right.
We got a game 3 energy. Let's get some energy, please. Thank you. Woo!
All right, I am very hyped for this as well, and I'm going to be more hyped listening to Cap and Fogged.
That's right. Thank you for that wonderful 2.5 panel that we just saw as we head into Game 3 of Nigma versus OG and Fogged. It feels like we are going to have slight differences in style. Where do you think this lineup is going?
Oh, man. I quite like OG just because they have a very comfortable lineup that they just played with. But then I'm seeing this last pick Medusa could be a threat because they might just run out of damage. But again, I do feel like it might be slow. It might be too slow. Viper and Medusa are very immobile heroes, so it's going to be really telltale where the fight's going to be. I feel like OG has a good way to be able to move and force lanes out and just pick and choose where they're going to be battling. And maybe it's going to catch Nigma a bit off guard. Either way, I'm excited to see how it's going to all kick off. I'm excited to see how much this Viper is going to be able to do also versus this Ricky. And just if the 5 position Enigma is going to work and if it's going to become more popular. This is looking pretty cool.
If I could describe these lineups, I'd say it's like OG, who are going to have the faster-paced mobile lineup that is looking to outmaneuver Nigma. But Nigma, they have the brick wall.
30 seconds.
You know, OG has the lineup that might be able to outmaneuver until they run into that Viper in a good position on a high ground or the Mars arena. Like, quite literally, there is going to be some serious barriers when it comes to either the Cogs, the Stone Gaze, the arena. Seb?
He looks like he knows. He's
think he
taunting
does.
them, man.
I mean,
We've
there's
seen a lot of 5-man movements.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
going to scout with the treants.
All right, well, they're going to push down. It looks like Soxa is still going to try and get this bounty rune, perhaps, because it's just a Medusa. So, yeah, he does grab it. And as a result, 3 bounty runes for OG.
But yeah, I definitely agree that it really does feel like if the fight is where Nigma's able to actually get this Viper stand down and Mars gets a good ult and Deuce is on their backline, they can. But I think OG has ways to play around it. They have these 2 heroes that can jump out of the Mars ulti very easy. The Puck as well as the Ricky have ways to be able to play around it pretty nicely. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see as it can be a very make or break hero. You know, Viper, which is a pretty risky one to pick in these type of matchups, but they do like it versus that puck, and that's why they did go for it.
We're watching Weeha's Dragon Turtle Viper, one of my favorite sets, just push in the mid lane into the Thompson puck. The bottom
that
lane.
set looks so weird.
Oh, yeah.
It really does.
It's pretty funny. I actually want to talk about this bottom lane because I think the analyst had some interesting things to talk about. Riki is just sort of like a kind of very straightforward one-to-one counter to Mars. He's hard to lock down with a spear, can get around Bulwark. But I thought it was interesting what T-Governor was saying about the fact that based on the support, you can pressure the Riki still a lot in lane, as Weeha may actually die here with all this aggression that he was going for. Thompson, he's going to go for easy creep deny, but it's not going to be enough. Thompson
my God.
claims the first blood, and Weeha is already suffering.
And just the thing is, too, is the way... maybe this will be a breakdown for Purge or something like that, but just looking at that, how he played it, this was actually Viper forcing the wave in super hard. Thompson not last hitting. Thompson was just right-clicking him during all of it, so he actually got him low enough to be able to chase down. That was a pretty cool little play coming out from the two of them there. And yeah, back to the thing about the support pushing out. I've been seeing that a lot lately, actually. I know Brian made up a point about it too when you're playing with like Legion Commander. It's not about the threat of the front hero, it's the threat of the back hero that actually shuts down a lot of these carries. So I quite like that too, where Shadow Shaman is good versus the Riki. High base damage, you have this control.
An interesting note that they both went for Orb of Venom in that side lane. Midwan was given extra tangos to get the ooh first, and Mind Control picks it up a little bit later in order to try and continue this pressure onto the Riki. They are just demolishing some Eidolons though in this bottom lane.
Yeah, that's the thing that it offsets is like they do have this Enigma who's getting these constant denies. So you see he's already got, he's about to have the 8th one, but they are getting those Eidolon trades because it's a Mars versus these summons. So there's like this fun trade that's going between the two of them. And mid one, he's coming out.
Dude, he's going again. Thompson gets in front of Weeha. He's going to jump forward into the tower. Whoa!
Oh, what? He stopped it.
He stopped that last attack. Weeha didn't have a fairy fire. He gets the salve from the courier, so he'll be able to play back into the lane still, but...
That looked like he was dead. He must have maybe hit the tower and then stopped instantly just as soon as he thought he didn't get it. That was, yeah, a bit of a slip up there from Thompson, maybe. That's now Weeha. Maybe he can take advantage of it.
Oh, GH. Do manage to kill No Tail in the bottom lane while we're watching Weeha continue to try and pressure Thompson. He is actually now out of mana, which is going to be an interesting turn of events for this matchup. He actually still has a Mango in his back pocket, though.
Yeah, he's going to bring just Salve Mango to be able to lane, but yeah, Weeha now has won the Sustain War, and he might be able to get Thompson. Fairy Fire play, he'll be okay. They're actually going to bring Soxa maybe to kind of bait. Thompson going to go for a bait play here, and they're going to try kicking him under, perhaps?
Yeah, this is perfect. They give him the salve and immediately go for the roll-in kick. So Thompson gets just enough HP that he'll be able to survive and get aggressive onto the Viper twice now that Weeha has died, this time to a big rotation. It does leave Seb alone, but honestly, what can a Clockwork really do to a Nature's Prophet? Those Treants cause them some serious havoc with that battery assault.
I've been seeing this dynamic so much lately, actually, in the EU DPC is this offlaner plus Earth Spirit. The offlaner just gets left alone, and he just does just fine, and the Earth Spirit can make so much spaces. They're even getting onto Miracle as Kuro's battery assault just comes back up.
Yeah, Seb doing a lot of work with this Nature's Prophet. Gets right in the face of Miracle and Kuro. Weeha trying to make use of this haste rune that he found, but Thompson... Greetings, he says. I'm willing to fight you. I'm willing to fight back. I'm not going to be just totally pushed out of my lane after all. I've already gotten 2 kills.
Very fun lane to watch here now. Just Thompson dancing around while poisoned the whole time.
Miracle's dead. Look at these Treant blocking. Seb is relentless.
Very nicely done. That's huge. Whenever you're able to slow down Medusa at all, like 1 or 2 deaths, these deaths really hurt when you're playing this full 4 protect 1 especially. Seb being enabled also, that means he's going to have an early level 6.
We got to get a W in here somewhere for Nigma, and maybe that's going to be No Tail going down the mid lane fight, though. Can Weeha win this before the TP? He does. He does manage to get the kill on Thompson. Soxa will collect the bounty for Weeha's Viper, but still, well worth the trade-off, I think, this time around for Weeha. Meanwhile, Mind Control also got the kill on bottom lane on the Enigma, as they're able to catch him out. Kuro's now going to play in this bottom lane as well. They really want to pressure this
Really
Riki pre-6.
Yeah, really deep ward too. They wanted to try to pressure with the catapult wave. They'll get a nice courier kill, but No-Tail actually just eats the catapult. The beauty of having a 5-position Enigma is now your push is gone bottom lane. So Kuroki makes the move bottom, but now that's going to leave the Medusa up top isolated. And now it's going to be this important next timing for OG. Level 6 on the Nature's Prophet's going to come out pretty soon. Then they can look to make so many global plays. Weehaw has to be careful. Even bottom lane has to be careful how far they step up. Nigma has to be prepared for that 6 to come out at any moment.
Well, they may have killed a lot of Eidolons, and they may have killed even No-Tail himself a number of times. The resulting space still puts mid one top of the CS, so they weren't able to pressure the Riki as much as maybe they would have liked, like the way Tigev was talking about. Instead, that duo has just been killing the 5 position over and over again.
Mid, Thompson, he actually uses the orb.
And the Invis managed to get him with the strike. Thompson doesn't have a quick way out of here, but just far enough underneath the tower that Weehaw doesn't feel good about diving any longer. The raindrops definitely being a big mitigating factor there in the kill power, as Mind Control does have a spear. Mid one, it's going to wait out the cloak and just pin him in order to get back. Roll up top lane, rolls past Miracle, straight into the hands of GH, immediately hexes him up. They still get a nice kick onto Miracle, but they're running out of damage now, and Seb, he's been caught by Kuro. The creep wave's coming in, though. The battery assault isn't nailing him every single time. Seb is hoping to be able to get the kill on GH before he goes down. Fairy Fire keeps him alive for a little bit longer. They both get traded out here, while Saksa, trying to juke away into the trees, does have a roll-up blocked by Kuro. Okay. Can they still get this somehow? The cogs, oh no, it pushed him out.
Nice aggressive moves. And the fact that they could at least bait the coil mid means that Wrath of Nature's not as threatening. They almost get the kill top onto the Medusa, but they will get Seb first. But still, OG, they're okay with this. They're still getting good farm, up to a 2K advantage. Mid one is not being pressured. And sure, Seb goes down, but he's still farming really well up in that top lane.
Yeah, now Mind Control is level 5 against a level 6 Riki in a solo lane. He does not want to be there any longer.
Yeah, the power of this Enigma. I mean, honestly, he's died twice, but 16 denies. Look at that disparity in experience and just farm too. It's really working. It really is. And maybe we'll start to see some more rise of these support Enigmas. It does seem pretty clever. Especially versus these tanky offlaners where your Midnight Pulse is just going to start getting super valuable later on too. GH, he steps a bit far up.
Pushed him back first with the God's Rebuke. Mid one opting not to chase any further. No need to. He's just keeping them out of experience range.
He'll bring Miracle toward the mid lane to start clearing up some jungle camps as Weehaw pushes Sox away. And there was the Wrath of Nature. So looking to make these constant plays around that. Yeah, up to a 3K gold lead. OG really starting to take over. And it really feels like it's going to be tough for Enigma to set up a lot of aggressive moves, especially to shut down mid one ever. It's not going to be easy until Mind Control has that level 6 in particular.
Yeah, they just simply don't have any real big kill power. They don't have that big threat on the board. So OG feels like they're able to just be super aggressive without much punishment.
And both games so far that we've seen, the team who's able to play aggressive, the team who's able to dictate the pace of the start of the game has been pretty solid as Miracle. He's down, kicked out of the coil.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Miracle is barely going to survive, though, thanks in part to the Hex. There was the silence, though. Nice play from Saksa, preventing the extra disables onto the puck. It does mean very likely Saksa is going to give up his life to protect Thompson, but still, quick thinking by him.
Now, Mind Control has to take the top lane because he wants the lane versus this Nature's Prophet. Viper has to jungle. But this downtime, I feel like OG's fine. OG's really happy with this, and it feels like the downtime's going to continue. I don't really know how Nigma forces the issue as bottom. GH shows his face. He's getting surrounded by 3 heroes.
Something Kyle was talking about in the draft. At any point in time with a Nature's Prophet, an Invis hero, and a ganking 4, you're just going to get outmaneuvered. You never know when you're just sitting by yourself and all of a sudden there's going to be 3-4 heroes quickly surrounding you. 10-minute bounty runes are coming up here. Kuro looking to secure them, but No-Tail's already in position to stop that one. And with the Malefice, they'll make sure that the captain of Nigma does die. Miracle does pick up a haste rune.
Which he needed. He probably was dead if it was any other rune, actually. That was very fortunate as OG really starting to... They're steamrolling now at this point. All 3 cores farming really well, and supports on the side of Nigma are very underleveled here. They're still not quite hitting the 6 even after getting the tomes. we see the supports on the side of OG. They're both about to be 6.
And if they give up this mid tower, it's going to feel like Nigma just have no space to breathe right now as Weehaw getting lower and lower with the extra bit of damage. Might be able to kill him, but Kuro is on top of No-Tail at the same time. Mind Control gets dangerously low at the top lane. They did manage to chase down No-Tail, but look at Weehaw. He's being tracked out by mid one. Weehaw knows, though. A smart read by him. He TPs out instead of walking back.
Look at Kuro. He's stuck. He's been trapped by his teammate. He has to wait the whole time too. He can't get out of there.
They have no way to get him out. God, if he just died to mid one right now.
Oh no, the tree stuck to the tricks of the trade. Okay, gets a sentry down.
Okay, they roll into the wards here. The wards are not going to time out that soon, but they do manage to kill both the supports here. Mind Control's going to come in, make sure Saksa is finished. The spear actually not killing Saksa. Nailed No-Tail in the back.
Now they're diving.
Still, yeah, there's going to be Seb coming in for this play as well. They've already killed Miracle, and Mind Control, he'll be cleaned up as well pretty easily, as there it is. Seb with the Wrath of Nature, or no, actually the Orchid Tick. That was enough to kill him. They take this mid tower. It fogged.
This is out of control already.
Yeah.
Like, Medusa's not going to have space to farm. Viper is now a Viper. So you're just super vulnerable to dying to anything as you're very isolated. Cap, this game we might not see much longer of this game. This Miracle Medusa might not be able to get a chance to get any farm as he's lost control of his 2 jungles. Just like the last game, OG just putting the pressure on, even taking the Ancients now. And with all these summons, they can clear all this area and keep control of it. And ults are all coming back online. This is looking rough.
Yeah, Nigma, I think they were hoping to, off of a more successful laning phase, build that brick wall that we were talking about, but it feels like OG has been tearing it down and the act of it being built up brick by brick. Nigma just do not get to have any space to be able to cement a position in this game. They're now down 8,000 net worth. They have nowhere really to farm. Weehaw, even if he does survive through this engagement with Tops, it goes to show, like, he just doesn't get a moment's rest.
No, they're totally on the back foot, and now it's, Mars has to be the space creator because the Viper's having such a hard time that he's just going to get gone on every time if he does show his face. And there we go, Mind Control comes in.
Still, they still managed to kill GH thanks to the Coil plus Wrath of Nature. They didn't even need Seb himself to be in that fight. Thompson, he's just going to kind of toy around here with the enemies, see if they can catch him somehow, but unlikely.
Yeah, with the cast range talent especially, he can just jump up these cliffs with the Waiting Rift quite easily. As mid one is still playing, he's going for Battle Fury, but he's still playing as if he's more active. Like, he's just literally running at Miracle every time he shows.
Hey, he doesn't get a chance to get anything off here. All of his mana is taken away. He did have wand charges, and OG recognizing that both the wand charges and the TP did mean that Nigma could turn things around with a Stone Gaze. GH.
Thompson?
They're going to go for him. Thompson does get hexed up first, though, but they're going to dive in. Cox actually pushing Thompson to the side, but fortunately, the orb was still up. A nice spear nails mid one and reveals him into the tree over there. And thanks in part to a good setup by GH and the Sentry, Nigma finally get a core kill here.
But bottom, the 2 supports. Viper in the bottom lane is he's just dead.
Yeah, this is No-Tail. I mean, he's shown he could just black hole for free.
Yep. It's positions like these that you get very concerned when there's the Viper in the game. Now what? He's 1-4. His game feels pretty over, and he's up versus some pretty hard carries. And we're seeing the way that OG, they forced the issue top. They even saw all the teleports finish, and they still didn't care. They still made that aggressive move because I don't think they care if they die. They're getting too much on the map. Nigma's not able to withstand all this pressure.
Kuro trying to protect. They do manage to get the combo here onto Sasa, but still, he's just getting ripped apart by mid. What, he does so much damage with the Wrath of Nature on top. They think the moment they've got a small window, but maybe get a kill. Turns out that mid one and there's Wrath of Nature from Seb do way too much damage. They demolish Nigma.
This game is well and truly over, it feels, as the Medusa already feels like she's countered. Viper's game is over. Mars's game is nowhere near able to be salvaged, and your lanes are still being pressured on all fronts. OG just merciless in these last 2 games, not giving any breathing room to these greedy picks. It really does feel like the greed just, they know how to punish it. We know the way OG likes to play when they do get a chance to play aggressive, and that's what we've seen.
Well, if Nigma took that Viking GG series and learned something about aggression and a Razor pickup, I'd love to see what they learned from this series because, man, this has just been blistering pace sent by OG in the last 2 games. Now they're going to run into him with an Orchid and Miracle trying to cut down the tree, cuts the wrong one, stuck inside, and just dead again. Mind Control, desperate for something, is going to land a spear here. They've got the disables to kill Thompson, surely, as Saksa does try and interrupt things. It looks like Thompson gotten a little bit too big for his britches, or maybe just started a fight that was overall good, as GH still going to die to Seb. Seb gets off the Wrath of Nature. Big boost of damage is going to be coming in, but Seb does die to the spear to the wall. Pinned up and killed. No Tail doesn't have the black hole. They're going to get in front of Saksa here. Uh-oh. Here comes mid one, and I believe he's got a fresh Battle Fury.
And
that damage.
Kuro's stuck the whole time. He's stuck in the Serpent Wards again, Cap. He couldn't help the entire time. He's just stuck. I actually could not believe it. I'm like, where the hell is the clock? And he's stuck in the Serpent Wards. He can't help out. Perhaps they could get another kill, but he's actually stuck 2 times this game. Poor Kuroki. A possibility where they're able to clean up maybe a few more kills for Weehaw, and he's actually just stuck, and the hope disappears for the fight for Nigma there, as again, losing Miracle at the start of it all.
Mid one. Now he's got his Battle Fury, so that fight was bad before. It's about to get even worse as he's managed to pick up his big farming item, his damage item, and if they get Roshan as well here completely. I feel like this is the last chance. Fog. Nigma, they have to get into this pit.
They have to get a nice Stone Gaze with a nice Mars ult covering, but Mars ult's still down for 20 seconds.
Yeah. And he's smoked up on the side of OG to protect this, but Curl and the rest of the boys are still going to get there. They're going to catch No Tail, no opportunity to get off a black hole, and Roshan's low. This is a huge window here. Nigma, do they have the power to take this by themselves? Yorkit's going to go out. That's another resource that's going to be used. Mind Control's got to be careful. Oh, the cogs! It pushes Thompson. He gets nailed by the spear. Can they actually kill him? A wall goes out. They throw everything they have. Thompson's dead. Now the Stone Gaze. It's caught Sox as an attempt to roll away. Denied by the battery soul. And Seb too. Now he's trying to go on the run. A buyback from Soxa. A re-engagement. OG. They plan to be able to still take this fight as Mid one's demolishing these supports. But another cogs pushes him away. Weeha's in trouble with a buyback from Soxa. With Seb on the high ground, taking the triple kill, and Weeha has no chance to be able to get away from this. Miracle is out of here. OG will retain control of the Roshan pit. It cost them a buyback, but it doesn't matter. They win the fight, and they take the Rosh.
Yeah, Seb and the Ricky both show up. Mid one and him just end up with a clean up duel and an insane amount of damage in the fight there. 2,700, 2,800 respectively on the 2 of them. Even though they did lose the puck at the start of it all, these 2 are the big damage dealers. Seb with this humongous item build pick up with the Orchid, the Witchblade, pretty much actually with the BKB done too after that. It looked like Nigma, maybe they could take a chance there. But yeah, these 2 holding down the fort for OG.
Yeah, now with an Essence Ring and a BKB,
oh, baby.
You know, try and go on Sub. He does so much damage, but he's got the tools to ignore all of it.
The hook shot, actually catching the Earth Spirit, but he's going to kick him away.
Nice.
And roll out.
Kick, and he's already there with his teammate, Seb. As we said, with a BKB, he can be rather fearless, so the moment somebody shows in an awkward position, he immediately strikes.
And they still have this ward behind this tier 2 mid, so they're just watching the positioning of the supports in the back for Nigma as they can surround this top tower, easily bring it down, and 15,000 gold lead. Dusa never wants to be in this position. It's just hope really for Nigma that they can hope to have some attempt to come back in this game.
Yeah.
Need to just rally around him, need to just keep getting these big ultis as, yeah, that's really the only thing you can hope for. Just big Stone Gazes, big Mars ults.
All right,
Seb.
Jason. Weehaw.
They actually catch him.
They are going to be able to catch Seb. At the same time, Weeha's being caught. The difference is Seb, he's got his BKB. He's got a way to be able to turn around a fight. You don't chain those stuns, and Seb will make you pay with every single hero that joined in this engagement. He'll make sure all die.
Oh, yeah, this is brutal. He has almost the same farm as every single hero put together, it feels like, on the side of Nigma. As top, they throw down the coil in the base. Can't clean him up yet.
Yet, mid
They're gonna
one.
keep trying.
He's going to try. Seb's going to
He's
come
gonna
in.
get him.
They've got no buybacks. They've forced everything out of Nigma. They know there's nothing left in the tank. The Orchid and the extra bit of
and he
damage
gets the courier.
going to kill him. The Courier's going to die as well. They're TPing it, but like honestly, this trio looks unstoppable. Who cares about a tier 3 tower, especially when you've got the Treants to tank for you?
All right, 19K gold lead, 20 minutes, 31-14. I don't believe we're going to be seeing many greedy drafts anymore, as OG especially really seems to know how to tackle them. Both these teams really identify when they can just group up and pressure like this, and OG just steamrolling. Now Weehaw shows he might just die in the base.
They try and go for a spear, an arena, but he was immediately silenced by Soxta. There goes a hook shot onto mid one. They are going to be able to catch. Yeah, look at, like, mind control is terrifying. They caught
He really is.
Soxta, but he was like still throwing down the arena like somehow the fight was going to continue.
I think they're just really feeling how impossible the game is to come back. They're just throwing ults at any kill.
Yeah.
It really is just, it's so out of hand. This side, OG is just full control. Like, let me actually see the towers. Have they actually had a tower? Okay, they did have a tower hit. 500 damage or so on the mid tower, but besides that, yeah, OG just ramping up the pressure. Weehaw almost dying to the Ricky, as they just can't do anything.
I mean, he can't farm a creep wave that's right outside of his base because, again, very deep vision is scouting him setting up to step out of that base and immediately is being punished every single time. Oh, what a spear. They've actually got him. That's going to be one. Can they do two? Cogs into a hook shot is going to be a lot of stun time here. They have GH there, but it's immediately stopped. They are going to try and get out what damage they can, but Seb is pumping it out. He's trying to kill Mind Control. The Orchid is not going to take him out. Hex onto Thompson, Black Hole, pulling back in Miracle. Do they have to disable? They do. A hook shot's going to be able to stop that one. Kuro running interference as best he can, but Seb with his BKB looking to be able to chase down Miracle. Kuro is going to die, but it looks like maybe he saved this team fight. They turn around. Nice shot there from GH. Mind Control's back at it. He really wants this kill on one of the cores, but the
oh my god,
it's too much with an E-blade from Thompson. All that magic damage just 100 to 0.
By the way, Cap, that was in their base under tier 4s. Just diving, going for these kills. That just shows how confident OG really is in the game. And yeah, Nigma just, it really does feel like no hope, but they're sticking in it. They're trying their best to be able to get this Medusa online.
I mean, they have
that was,
to, right?
That was under tier 4s. Yeah, they have to try something. It really is such a big match. They're not going to tap out. They're going to keep trying for it. But the fact that Seb just TPs under tier 4s and gets so many kills just like that, yeah, that's a statement of its own.
Yeah, it certainly is. We heard Nigma talk about the fact that due to the fact that they are 2-2, they already have those 2 losses. A third loss would pretty much put them out of control of being in their own fate when it comes to making it into the major. Especially with so many matches still to go, as Nigma have yet to face up against Tundra as well. Ico, so jump in. Spear onto Seb, see if they can keep the chain stun to prevent the BKB from going off. He is indeed dead, but the backline's being demolished right now. Look at this Battle Fury from the Riki go to work as they're all stuck in this AoE with a double damage to boot. The tankier 2 cores of the Medusa and Viper, they survived the initial burst, but there is relentless chase here from OG. You know Weehaw's not going to survive. It's a momentary reprieve before inevitable death.
Seb just TPs with his face. As soon as he respawns, gets insta-hexed into Spirit and dies, but it doesn't matter. Let's just look at the damage from this Riki. Fight recap, 3,700, Puck, 2,300. They're able to just clean things up, especially inside of Mars ulti, where the Battle Fury actually goes really nicely when everybody's stacked all close together.
Yeah, it really does. It just feels like at this point that Nigma are able to do the coordination that it takes to bring down one of these cores, but whoever they choose, the other 2 just seem to go into overtime.
Absolutely.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
19, level 19 on mid one on Thompson. It's 25 minutes into the game, and honestly, they've taken the tier 2, but hell, half their time, half of their heat map has been based inside of Nigma's base.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's where
it's crazy. But that's the way it's been. That's a very OG style, though, as we did. I mean, that's the TI style of diving fountain in the TI finals and stuff like that. OG merciless in these last 2 games. Saksa with a BKB just rolls in.
And with a BKB, he can kind of ignore the Viper, kill him, and say, okay, we got another one, boys. It almost feels like they're farming Nigma at this case.
Oh, and mind control.
They're going to be able to get mind control as he's going to stay silenced thanks to the coil and the smoke screen combo. It's a good way to make sure somebody has no impact on a team fight. They're going to buy back on mind control.
He has to.
Maybe
they have
buy
to
back.
try to defend these racks.
Weehaw has
It's not like he's getting the blink anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They say that buyback forced him back, so Weehaw can commit to his BKB. It just doesn't deal with the physical damage that's coming out from mid one.
No, it does not. They do have OG gets a base ward in as well down on the bottom side during this. Nigma's actually going to smoke out, and these fresh wards that Kuroki just placed. That's what Kuro was doing during all that fight. It was actually placing these to maybe find when OG is maximizing and farming. They'll see Seb TP top. They might actually be able to get this pick off. He's a tanky one, though.
Oh, boy.
That's Kuro. He'll play with his life. And
All
let's
right.
see. Top. Can they actually get the Serpent Wards and a Marzel? Let's see.
An all-in kill onto Seb. No,
no.
that's a miss jackal. Oh, no, that's a miss spear. Oh, it just does not get any worse for the boys.
Oh, and they're dead.
They're all dead. Fogged, if there's any time to tap out. It's that moment right there.
Hey, they went for it, and even pro players make mistakes at times. A little bit of a misclick there as Weehaw, he shows himself in the wave, gonna get committed on immediately. Does have the BKB to protect him for at least a slight moment.
Yep, the hook shot comes in to try and stop that black hole. The damage is done though, as the Air Spirit's able to finish him off mid one. Jumping onto the Medusa, ignoring the Stone Gaze for the most part, and just hops over to GH instead, kills him. Kuro was able to deal with no tail, but the 5 position of OG is dead. The other 4 stand strong inside of Nigma's base, wiping them, and they are going to force a submission out of Nigma if they're not going to go willingly.
Dire's top barracks has
The Seb Nature's Prophet, still something really to be feared. He did an excellent job this game, just applying the pressure, always showing up to these fights. Oh, is it like 10 minutes something Orchid, I think it was? Maybe 10:50 or so, maybe 11. Super early on, played aggressively, and just, yeah, on point. OG is no mercy. Nigma, it really felt like from minute like 8, it was just them getting surrounded, getting all these plays, getting ran at from that advantage. The small advantage OG got in the laning phase, they just ran away with it.
Megas are going to come up. They may have a Medusa, and maybe that's that last little shred of hope they're hoping for here is some sort of throw into the fountains, because mid one, every single time he shows up, he appears, Nigma heroes disappear. And there it is, finally.
GG.
With one final whimper. Nigma die inside their base. Give it up, Megas. A 42,000 net worth lead. 52 kills in 28 minutes, Fogged. That's just OG's side of things. That's just the OG story.
Yeah, and OG, I think, really putting a statement about don't go greedy versus us, right, in these last 2 games. I think they really showed that they can just take advantage of that, even where it looks, you know, as the panel was talking about too, like the AM game, if he's able to farm, if they're able to get this farm on the Medusa too, but if you're not able to, you lose everything so quickly. It never actually looks like you have a hope. As this game, it really felt like they had no hope just so quickly from this mobility from OG.
Look at the boys of OG. They're amped up, and they know it's always a fun series against Nigma, and it's always a big win. As OG are now 3-1 here at the European DPC. What a series. Let's go back to the panel, shall we?